Hey, Josie. Welcome to Up to Your Ears, you guys. We're so stoked that you joined us today. Who is our guest?
Our guest today is Charles Jenkins from the band Icecream Hands. I'm so super excited to talk to him. I love their music. So yeah, is he here?
He's here, so let's let him in.
Awesome. Welcome to Up to Your Ears. Thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us. We're really excited.
That's my pleasure. I'm getting the best backdrop. As good as it gets. Okay.
Hey, that's all right. I'm really excited that Liz put us in touch with you. I love Liz. She's one of my dearest friends ever. I love her so much.
I'm really glad she did too. I would have met Liz maybe twice or something, but I know her brothers very well.
Well, Charles, the way this is that our interviews usually go, we have a questionnaire, super fun questionnaire. Vanessa's going to ask you a few questions, then I'm going to ask you a few questions, and then we're going to find out what you're doing now, present day, and what's going on in your future, you know? Vanessa, do you want to start? Truth or protect your rep?
Yes,
That's the name of the
we've
questionnaire.
devised a questionnaire. So, to start, I have a series of questions, but I try to gear them towards our each individual guest. So, being the avid reader that you are, have you read all those books on your shelf, or are they merely for looks?
I've probably read about half of them. A lot of books on my shelf have to do with the masters that I did in lyric writing techniques. So there's lots of poetry books and lots of books on poetic devices that informed my masters. So I'm a pretty lazy reader, I'll be honest, because that's what this segment requires or not. And I find at the moment I'm reading an Aretha Franklin biography. And I've got a Rufus Wainwright biography lined up. And yeah, I should probably read a little bit more fiction. Anyway, that's a long-winded answer. Next question.
All right, phone at the table, yes or no?
Great question. At present, no. And I do really like not having it around, and I'm trying to go on my morning walks without it. But I take it because, of course, I may get the greatest rock and roll idea ever when I'm on my walk, and I have to blurb it into my, a wop up a loop up, I have to blurb it into my phone. So yeah, 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay, good
We'll have to
answer.
do one of those little mini recorders that you can put in your pocket, old school.
Yeah, you're right. I'll take a boombox with me.
There, like this.
I had one of those little mini recorders forever. I think I just finally got rid of it because I couldn't find any of the little mini tapes to put it in anymore.
Yeah, I've still got mine. They'll never come in handy.
You never know. All right, analog or digital?
We record in the digital format these days. It was my birthday recently, and my record player hasn't been working for about 6 months. I'm getting a new turntable, so that's about as analog as I'm kind of going to get. And the Ice Cream Hands have just put out a new album, and that's on vinyl. Because the band can never really afford to be in the same room at the same time, we kind of do things digitally on various computers. So digital.
Do you prefer that?
Yeah, I kind of do. I don't have the ears to really, pick the difference. I'm deaf from rock and roll. I stood near the drummer, So I've got no, what's the question? I've got, yeah, so I'm pretty happy in that realm. I've made a few nylon string records with just me and my guitar and one microphone, and my 10-year-old computer. So it costs me $0 to make those records. So
Right.
I'm pretty happy with digital.
Okay, so you said you've been to America a few times, although I assume they have these in Australia as well. But donuts or croissants?
I like croissants. That's, yeah. I went through a phase of jam donuts, chocolate and jam donuts. God, this is a terrible admission. And yeah, I ballooned. But I kind of don't do either, really. I can't remember the last time I had a croissant, but every morning I go on my walk, I go to this is such a boring story. I go to the 7-Eleven to get a coffee on my walk, and I look at the donuts like
I do the same thing.
and I've got the box where I've got all the donut hole things in them. And it's and it just kind of makes my stomach turn, to be honest.
Okay, my final question for you is if you could add one piece of equipment, dream piece of equipment to your studio, what would it be?
Oh, that's an excellent question. I'd like to get a new computer. This is so boring, but I've got a really good microphone. I've got enough guitars. Oh, and I'd like to add a person that can work a drum machine for me.
Ooh.
But yeah, I'd like to add a person. Can I add a person? Yeah.
Yes, dream.
Yeah, I'll call him Ralph.
Okay, Ralph, where are you?
Yeah. Here I am.
Yeah.
Feel free to add in the comments below if your name is Ralph and you know how to run a drum machine and you're willing to move to Melbourne, or if you live in Melbourne already.
Are you ready for my questions, Charles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My first question for you is, what was your first concert ever that you went to that you remember?
The one that blew my mind.
Yeah.
And has never been bettered was Devo at in Adelaide at the Royal Memorial Tennis Courts, and they had just put out Beautiful World. It was around that time, and I was a big fan. I was in year 10 at high school, and we went and met them at the airport, and we followed them back to their hotel. I don't know who drove. And then we're at sound check, and they came over and said hello. And it was the first time. So what year is this? This is 1910. No, this is 1980. Oh God, I don't know. 80, about 1982 or 3 or something.
I think it's 82 is when that came out.
Sorry, Vanessa.
I think that was 82 was about when that came out.
Yeah. So it was the first time I'd ever seen long shorts. You know, like they had yet to hit Australia, and I don't think they hit Australia until about 10 years later. And all the Devo guys were wearing these shorts that went down to their knees, and we just thought it was the stupidest thing we'd ever seen. We laughed and laughed. Anyway, at the show, and they all had their energy domes on, and they had these conveyor belts that would take them from the back of the stage. They'd hop on the conveyor belt and they'd travel to the front of the stage playing. You know, they're playing all their amazing songs. And yeah, that just absolutely blew my mind. So yeah, Devo.
I love that. I just saw them last year here, and it blew my mind. It totally blew my mind. Charles, if you happen to find yourself on death row,
just if.
No, not the record label. Okay. It's like a prison where you're never going to get out.
I think they have capital punishment in Australia forever, right?
Yeah, I'm familiar with death row, but they haven't had capital punishment for. I think the last man hanged in Australia was 1966 or something.
Okay. Well, maybe you find yourself in death row in the United States.
They have
Just
death row in Austin, Texas.
oh yeah, they do. Um, but this is just a hypothetical. What would your last meal be?
Oh,
Lentil soup.
No. Or maybe, I don't know.
I heard Charles Jenkins makes the best lentil soup in town.
it'd be a lard guy. It'd be a chicken, Thai chicken salad, which has lots of lime juice, lots of cucumber and chili, and kind of it's perfect when the chicken has been minced. Sorry for the vegetarians out there, but it'd be a lard guy.
Okay.
But you just feel healthy. Not that
Yeah.
that's going to help me on bloody death row, is it? So yeah, either that or a steak bigger than my head.
Okay. There you go. You've toured, you've been around, you've played with tons of people. Have you ever found yourself starstruck by another musician?
Oh yeah. I worked a lot in record stores, and we'd get a lot of people coming through doing in-store appearances at this place called Gaslight Records, and the guys from Wilco came in. That was kind of interesting. I don't know if I was starstruck, but you kind of, you do get a bit conscious. The first kind of big hero of mine I met was Elvis Costello, and he was really accommodating. We were high school kids, and you just got so much balls when you're so young. And we went backstage and met him, and he signed our bus passes.
That's sweet. That was very nice of him.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite ever. When I was younger, I would say, my dream is to be in an Elvis Costello Billy Childish sandwich.
I remember once seeing a sound check of Elvis Costello's, and I was with a couple of friends, and it was Jake Riviera, his manager at the time. I didn't realize it was Jake Riviera, and I just said, "Can we come in for sound check?" And he kind of looked at me and yeah, and we went in. It was just the three of us in this enormous theatre that he was playing, obviously later that night, and he did this hour-long sound check. And every song that he sang, the sound check, he never did that night.
Cool.
And every song he just sang ahead of the bar or behind the bar. Like, he changed the phrasing completely. And that blew my mind, because for some reason I thought that when you play live, you just sing like you do it on the record and that's it kind of thing. If you don't, you get stuck. So that was a great education. I met Robin Hitchcock a few times, and I remember the first time I met him, I was pretty nervous because I was and am a huge fan.
Well, isn't that where the name Ice Cream Hands comes from, the Robin Hitchcock song?
Correct.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Well, I can't imagine meeting Elvis Costello. That would blow my mind.
Yeah, it would be a dream of mine. I've only seen him once, and he was wonderful. He was playing with the Imposters, and very theatrical, lots of projections of art in the background, and just really lovely.
Okay, my next question for you is, what's the strangest venue or show you've ever played?
The strangest venue, I remember like the first gig that the Mad Turks did. This is the band I was in when I was growing up in Adelaide. It was at a place called Larkentina's, and it was a late night bar. And like you'd play at 2:00 in the morning, and you'd only get access to the place at midnight. And I remember going in there, and it was our first gig maybe, we didn't know what to do, and the bar manager was asleep under the desk, and I don't know, so that was a weird introduction to the world of late night roll. I remember once doing an interview for a gig in Adelaide where we were playing at the big football stadium. We were the first band on, and there were all these really big Australian acts playing. And because we were the local talent, I channeled one of the news and said, "Can you come and do an interview to help plug this show tomorrow?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And I turned up, and they said, "Oh, we want you to meet in the Parklands where the circus is." So the circus had come to town as well, as well as this gig, and they wanted to cross promote both things. So I'm talking to the interviewer, and just before I start talking, he hands me, or someone hands me, a little lion cub, a tiny little lion cub.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so I'm holding this, little cat, and 10 feet away, mother is just roaring like nobody's business. She is rightfully really pissed, as you would say, rightfully dark about the fact that someone's taken away her baby. And so I'm not sure how much was heard on that TV interview about. So yeah, anyway.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 2 more questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you could put together a dream tour for Ice Cream Hands, because I know you guys have a record coming out, who would be on that tour?
Take a bunch of Melbourne bands and show them to the rest of the world. I know there's some friends of mine that I take with me, some dear friends. Susanna Espy, who's a beautiful singer-songwriter. I take her. I take Jeff Lang. I take Mick Thomas. I take all these kind of Melbourne singer-songwriters that I know and who are friends, and we could just all be gobsmacked by what's going on.
I love that. That's great. So my last question for you, Charles, is what advice would you give your 15-year-old self?
Don't put your first record out so soon.
Okay.
Stay in your bedroom and keep on writing more and more songs. So yeah, that's probably what I do. Perhaps take up the guitar lessons that your mother suggested. Take up the piano lessons. Stop playing football and cricket so much.
Love Ice Cream Hands. I love all the harmonies, and I know that you have a new record out, the No Weapon But Love. What else do you have going on? Let us know what's happening. There are some Christmas shows. I don't know if they're still happening. Is that true, or?
At the moment, they're happening. It's an indoor show, and it's a very large venue, but because of social distancing, it's about 50 people per show are allowed. So we're doing 4 shows over 2 nights, and fingers crossed that'll happen. But yeah, that's coming up for the band, and that'll be interesting, because we haven't really got together all year long, I'm writing songs for a next Ice Cream Hands record. I just loved making that record and really enjoy the album. And I've put out these 2 solo records that I was mentioning before. These ones with just me and a microphone and my nylon string guitar. So I'm pretty keen on doing another one of them because it's just so easy. And the songwriting for that is completely different. I know it's a guitar and a voice and melody and lyrics still, but I know to write for the Ice Cream Hands is these types of songs, and then there's the nylon string types of songs. So I just enjoy the different type of songs that apply to each.
That's amazing. So where can we find the new record? It's available on vinyl, but it's also available digitally, right?
Yeah, so if you go to Bandcamp and type in Ice Cream Hands, it'll be there. We're big fans of Bandcamp, and if you go to Bandcamp and type in Charles Jenkins, you'll get me. And then you get to listen to it 3 times for free.
Well, Vanessa and I are huge fans of vinyl. So is it being distributed in the States as well, or is it port only or export only?
Yeah, on Bandcamp you can go the digital option or the CD option or the vinyl option, or all 3. And then our bass player goes to the local post office and wraps it up and sends it across, and we all say a few prayers that it gets to the States in one piece about 2 months later.
So you have so besides the new record, you are working on a new record, and was that solo or is that Ice Cream Hands?
I want to do both. I'd like to try and do both because if I put up these parameters of I'm just going to write Ice Cream Hands songs, I don't know, it might be too much of a parameter. This is going to have a big chorus, and if I just say I'm just going to write nylon string songs, well, this is going to be slow and introspective, then that kind of is a bit too constricting as well. But if I just say I'm going to write songs, then that's all I need. Then I'll write 10, because then I don't care. You know, it just
Right.
stuff comes out, and then I just pick the one that's best. And so it's a little bit like that with songs. I'll just keep on writing, and then in a few months' time, I'll look back.
So good. And I love your harmonies. I love your songwriting. I think it's amazing. And
it's very fun. You seem like you've been really prolific. So I was curious to ask if you felt like introspective, you don't need any sort of exterior stimulus. This is all just things that you feel or things that you've experienced in the past, or?
That's a good question. I've been very busy with work. I teach songwriting, so I kind of have been very busy with doing that during the day. And so as a means of relaxing, I don't think of it like that at the time, but as a means of relaxing, I'll go and pick up the guitar and just kind of fool around. And I'm sure there are elements of my own pitiful existence that come into the songs, but it never kind of starts that way. I think because I think if you just write about what you only do, you kind of you'd write one song a year or something. But no, I've been really, as I said, it's just a fun thing to do at the end of the day. It's never felt like a chore, and I enjoy finishing them. There are moments when you just think, oh, I got to finish this song, but that's okay. I think because the masters that I did in songwriting it just pretty much taught me that if I stick with something, it'll be fine. So it's my advice, because you realize you can write a song about anything. It's all been done. It's just not been done by you.
Well, Charles, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll make sure all of our viewers have access to it as well. So thank you so much for
thank you for spending some of your time with us today. We really appreciate it. It was wonderful to speak with you.
Absolutely.
To you, Vanessa and Josie, thank you for your time. It's been a wonderful start to the day for me, so thanks a lot.
Yay, awesome.
And I hope the rest of your day is wonderful.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
And we'll be in your day tomorrow.
Yes, enjoy it.
Gentlemen.
That was so fun.
I know.
What a cool dude. Oh my
God. That's
gosh.
what we're here for, people. We are here to bring some positivity to this world and also bring you some music news, because you need
And I'm serious. I'm gonna get that record. It sounds like the video that I watched is awesome, super fun, upbeat, uplifting. I mean, the name of it is No Weapon But Love. I mean, come on.
That's right. Sells it right there. No Weapon But Love.
Yeah, so good.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We are pretty sure that Icecream Hands is going to be one of your new favorite bands. And as always, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Josie.
This has been Up to Your Ears, and it sounds good.
Sounds real good. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, if you like this video, please do. It doesn't do anything to you except for put our videos into your recommended.
All right, bye. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for watching.